I have no desire to be famous.
Ah, the nerd fighters!
Recently, a friend sent me an article titled something like, "Teen Instagram Star Quits Social Media." My friend doesn't use social media, but she wanted to know my opinions on the story. If you're not familiar with the story, Australian teen Sina O'Neill became a famous Instagram model over the last few years. She recently quit social media because she didn't enjoy having to constantly edit herself and maintain this inauthentic image. The story got me thinking about what it means to be famous in the digital age, whether it differs from being famous in the traditional sense, and why people pursue internet fame over traditional fame. As YouTubers, we know that what makes these internet famous people appealing is the relationship that they have with us, the consumers. They talk directly to us, they read and sometimes respond to our tweets, and they aren't afraid to show parts of their lives to total strangers on the internet. This openness makes the internet famous seem more accessible than the traditionally famous. How much do we know about John Green? Quite a bit, because he shares a lot about his projects and himself via social media. How much do we know about George Clooney? Only what we know from interviews, magazines, and gossip TV. All that info goes through the traditional media filter, and hardly any of it comes from him directly. So it's easier to get to know and talk to the internet famous. And for a lot of young people, the internet famous are role models. These are people that they aspire to be, and why wouldn't they? Here are these people that have interesting lives, post relatable stuff on YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Snapchat, Google+, and they can do it all in comfy pajamas if they want. Not only are the internet famous more accessible, but they give this impression that internet fame is achievable. All you need is an internet connection. Internet fame is weird in that it's simultaneously easy and hard to achieve. It's easy in the sense that you can get your 15 minutes by making a viral video. Sustained internet fame is much harder to achieve. It means A, creating consumable content, and B, making sure it gets seen. Consumable content is a subjective phrase, but if you look at the kinds of videos that are getting a lot of traffic, they typically have that sexy DSLR look and feature personable people talking about hashtag relatable content. It used to be that filming on a webcam in your bedroom was good enough for a YouTube video. Now, though, as top creators film on 4K cameras with good lighting and sound equipment, up-and-coming creators feel this pressure to produce high-quality videos. With that pressure also comes a pressure to be more polished when you get in front of that camera. This can affect how you present yourself, how you make your delivery, or how you edit yourself. For instance, I'm wearing my Will Wheaton shirt, I'm talking in a louder and more measured voice than I normally would, and I'm going to edit out all the bad takes. Every YouTuber with editing software does this to some extent. We have the power to manipulate how we come across in our videos, and the top creators are well aware of this. They spent years refining the image that they present to us. I'm not saying that they're a different person on camera, but it's a more polished version of themselves. Katie Couric on TV is more polished than Katie Couric at home, is she not? But a likable personality isn't enough to achieve internet fame. The other half of the internet fame equation requires a lot of social media work. It's one thing to post your content to social media. It's another thing to make sure that people are seeing it and engaging with it. If people like your stuff, they'll be more than willing to share it, especially if you ask. But to get on people's radar in the first place, you need to throw a lot of effort into networking. And by networking, I don't mean sub for sub or follow for follow. You have to make some real connections with people. You have to show them that you're genuinely invested in them and their content. By having this real connection, you'll actually want to share their stuff. And then they'll want to share your stuff. And you'll help each other grow your follower count, and then more people will want to share your stuff. And then it becomes this big, intricate web of internet fame. Well, Maia, if you've cracked the code on internet fame, why aren't you famous? Simple answer, I don't want to be. The closest I've come to internet fame was when VidCon retweeted my juggling video. And although the initial excitement was very, very cool, I didn't end up handling it too well. A lot more eyeballs were watching that video, but I didn't know a lot of them. And it's hard to feel a connection with a number of views, and that's what I come to the internet for. Not for fame, but for connection. There are a small number of people who watch my videos, but I know many of them because we've engaged in comments and on Twitter, and I've even met a few of them in real life. These are people that I genuinely like, and I'm way more invested in them than in this abstract number of views and followers. That metric can't possibly measure the connection that I have with them. Anyway, I've touched on a lot of things on this video, and I'm not sure if it all made sense. What do you think about internet fame? Is that something that you'd ever want? And am I being too cynical on my views on internet fame? Thank you so much, NFI, for having me on here this week. I absolutely love talking about this stuff. If you'd like to chat more about internet fame, I'll be hanging out in comments and in these places. Let's talk about stuff. Steven, I'll see you tomorrow.